Hi everyone, this is Guguletu Manana of the Art and Culture of Wellness. I hope you're well today. So I've been covering a series of topics on death and different types of death. There's 22 types of death and how art therapy can help um, expressing and with exploration and can be used for healing. So today's topic, exploring exploration of death by suicide. So what I have for you is a brief introduction, or I will expand on it rather, understanding suicide, the benefits of art therapy for suicide prevention, examples of art therapy techniques for suicide prevention, case study, and some concluding thoughts. For those who are new to the channel or who do not know what art therapy is, it is a form of psychotherapy that uses a creative process of making art to improve a person's physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So suicide is a serious public health issue affecting millions of people worldwide. People, it affects people psychologically. So normally those who are left behind have to look at the psychological impact of it and try and understand the complex emotions. So that's what art therapy can use. For those who are, it's found to be an effective tool rather in helping if who are struggling with suicidal thoughts and behaviors, but also most importantly, for those who have experienced death, or if a member of a family or if a friend or of a partner, art therapy can help people psychologically to explore complex emotions. It's very difficult for me to speak about this topic. Complex emotions, insight into the thoughts and feelings, and sometimes motivation behind the actions. Some people will never find out the motivation, but it's something that can be explored. And socially, art therapy can be a bridging tool or mechanism to start, exploring issues of cultural, religious, and family dynamics that are influencing thoughts and feelings. And also, it helps with just the impact, understanding the impact and making sense of the impact of the death of suicide and relationship with others and how it's impacting other and the family structure. And art therapy would help how those experiences shape, exploration of those beliefs and attitudes, and it would help with a healthy development of, healthy communications and building meaningful connection and managing conflict without, within and without. So spiritually, it's a time when people start questioning or evaluating or have inquiry around their belief systems and values related to death and suicide. So art therapy provides an opportunity to explore the spiritual aspects of life and death and the afterlife, and to gain insight into how the experiences have shaped their beliefs and and values. So this leads to a greater sense of inner peace and acceptance, which art therapy find to be a valuable resource for those individuals, families, and groups. So suicide is a complex issue that has multiple, causes. It's not one, could be unexpected, sudden, or maybe there have been attempts before. So, but those causes, as I said, they are, they vary. So it could be issues of mental illness, trauma, and life stresses where people can, they don't have the strength to go on and they decide to end their lives. People who are struggling with suicidal thoughts may feel hopeless, isolated, overwhelmed, depressed, anxious all the time, and have difficulty expressing emotion and communicating needs. So the isolation also is made worse because the more they are isolated and they cannot speak, those depressing and overwhelming thoughts come, and they live in the shadow of darkness, in the dark curtains, overwhelming their mind and covering their mind. So where art therapy helps is to explore and express their feelings in a safe and supportive environment. The creative process is people can gain insights into their thoughts and emotion, develop coping skills, um, while building resilience. So I just put some thoughts. There's some thoughts on the prevention of benefits of art therapy for suicide prevention. So it could be also suicidal thoughts and behaviors, or ideation, suicidal. Um, how it can teach people or to help express their difficult emotion and thoughts that may be hard to put into words, because it bypasses the brain part where you have to spoke, because then it reaches to the inner core where you can just document what you're seeing, the thoughts, the words, in paint, in drawing, in sculpturing, in clay. You can transfer those emotions into the third party, the triangle, or the object. So also art therapy can help people explore and process traumatic experiences in a safe and supportive environment, because at times suicides are violent and it feels like it's a severment, like somebody pulled your arm or they dragged you by your feet and it separated a horse, carriage, because it's never a pretty sight. And at times the way it's done is painful. People don't just take pills and pass away in their beds peacefully, or while nobody. At times it's quite drastic and violent, so sometimes it causes trauma, secondary trauma to those who are experiencing. So art therapy can help people develop coping skills and strategies for managing stress and anxiety, because at times you may find that suicide is passed on from one generation to another generation, or there has been suicide in documented in within the family members. So that will be also another helpful point to process, another helpful point to look into. What are the family dynamics? What is being transferred? What are these intergenerational transference that are happening? What is I suppose, the spirit behind all of those that people, the life stressors, the suicidal ideation, the suicidal thoughts and behaviors. Art therapy can help build system and confidence in their ability to overcome challenges. Obviously, if you're isolated, you feel like nobody understands me, nobody loves me, nobody, and all those thoughts and imaginations are constantly with you, oppressing you and suppressing, your being, and giving you a sense of leaving you with a sense of hopelessness. It is then that people start acting out, so, and also it helps you to connect with others and build a sense of community, because obviously people who are isolated, they don't have connection with others, even their immediate family members, always isolating themselves or feel isolated. It might be an emotional isolation or mental isolation. So in art therapy, when we prevent examples of suicide prevention, these are some examples that can be made. They can be done in different ways, drawing and painting to express emotion and thoughts, creating collages, using clay and other material to, create sculptures that represent feelings, writing or journaling to reflect on personal experience, because this writing and journaling is a psychosomatic process, because you're writing as it comes and it's a release. So all those difficult emotions are released into the paper or the piece of the journal or diary or whatever that you're using at the time. Case studies, it will be a teenage girl that attempted suicide multiple times, because sometimes it's just once because, oh, it was a traumatic relationship and it felt hopeless at the time, but people are able to bounce back with help, but others, they attempt suicide multiple times. And out of this case study, the lady, the teenage girl, young lady, participated in art therapy sessions that focused on exploring her emotions and developing coping skills. Through the creative process, she was able to express her feelings of hopelessness and isolation, and develop strategies for depression and anxiety. Obviously, when you are going through this, your mood is at the lowest. You, even physically, you cannot even take care of yourself. Mentally, it's even in a dire state. So when your mood can improve, you do not have those lingering thoughts, those tormenting thoughts in your mind. And she reported feeling more connected to others and better able to manage your emotion. And you find that people are not, have no desire to attempt suicide again, um, after completing this program. Um, so some conclusion is while art therapy is a powerful tool for promoting healing for individuals with suicidal thoughts and identities. So people need to still take care of themselves in terms of eating well, taking care, so that it helps also the body to produce those good hormones, feel good hormones, and to be taught life skills that promote emotional and mental wellness, on top of of therapeutic sessions or group therapy, anything that will help. So I provide that safe space in a supportive environment, and people are able to explore in a deep meaning and at the level where at their pace and processes that help with their emotional developing resilience, long-term resilience, developing those coping skills and management, self-management strategies, and a complementary treatment to traditional therapy and medication. Art therapy can play an important role in suicide prevention efforts. So that's what I have to you for you today. I hope you will join me and have a listen and enjoy the series that I've been presenting on death, loss, so there'll be series on grief as well, but I've been covering the 22 types of death people experience and how people process them, and how art therapy can be a tool and a modality, a therapeutic modality to help combat difficult, shocking sometimes, whelm and of a sense of fear and complex emotion that people experience when somebody's left them in such a way. So this is Gugulethu Manana of the Art and Wellness channel. I promote mental health wellness using creativity. Thank you very much for joining me. Until I see you next time or hear from me. Thank you. Bye.